I'm having to move my screen over to the other monitor because I accidentally had it on the monitor here to my left, and I meant to have it right in front of me. So I'm sorry about that little pause while I was doing that. So, um, you want to be successful as a real estate agent, guys? 87% failure rate in real estate. But I think it's because people don't have the right mindset. I think it's because people aren't adequately prepared. I don't think they have the right tools to be successful and things like that. But it all starts with mindset. It all starts with mindset. Because if you've got the right mindset, this industry is hard. Okay, this industry is hard. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you straightforward. You're in sales. It's commission sales. But if you have the right mindset, you're gonna be successful if you're a go getter. How do they say? How do they say you spell luck? WORK. Am I right? Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you've heard that one before. If that's not an overused saying, I don't know what is. But we're going to talk about 5 key mindsets that if you have as a real estate agent, even as a team leader, even as a broker owner, you're going to be successful with these 5 mindsets, because if you get your mind right, everything else will just come together, okay? It's not easy. It's not easy. And I make mistakes and mess up on these items occasionally too. I'm not going to lie. I am not perfect at all. No, I'm not. But with the glory of God, with the power of my family, the power of the agents that I surround myself with and help me do my business, if I can be successful, guys, you can be successful too. And getting your mind right is one of the first steps in doing that. So let's go ahead and quit listening to me jibber jabber, and let's get into it. So you have to have the mindset of time blocking. You've got to you've got to have the mindset of time blocking, because when as a real estate agent, you're a project manager. So you're being pulled in different directions for the transaction during the whole transaction. Even before you have a contract, you're being pulled in different directions as far as like scheduling showings, communications with the buyer, communications with the buyer's lender, et cetera, et cetera. But you've got to have time blocked certain tasks that you've got to get done every day as a real estate agent. You've got to prospect for new business, you've got to meet customers, and you've got to write contracts. So you want to have the right time blocking in your schedule to do that. Quick example of what I do that helps me out personally is Mondays and Thursdays are my escrow and my listing days. I really focus on my escrows and my listings on Mondays and Thursdays, and that helps me ensure that both of those parts of my business are taken care of. That's an example of some time blocking that I do. So I hope that helps you out. If you need more information on that, there's tons of information on the interweb about time blocking. But set your family and what you hold dear to you in your schedule first, and then schedule everything else around it. Okay? Thumbs up. Thumbs up if that's helpful. Step number 4, if you have the mindset to find solutions and not excuses, you're going to go places as a real estate agent. Okay? You're, like I said before, you're a project manager. Your job is to get a buyer and seller to closing. That's your job. There's going to be tons of hurdles come up along the way. There absolutely is. And the next item that we talk about is going to help you get through those hurdles and know the process to get through those hurdles. But you have to have the ability to find solutions. Okay. You're helping people with a very, very large transaction. And typically, your average seller and your average buyer are not going to get to closing without someone, you, the real estate salesman, the real estate saleswoman, finding solutions and getting them through closing. Even on a new construction house, even on a house that is so cookie cutter of the neighborhood, things will still arise that you, as a real estate agent, the real estate salesman, the real estate saleswoman, you're going to need to find solutions to. And your ability to find solutions quickly, concisely, is going to help you get to that closing a lot quicker. And that's why being surrounded by amazing agents, like-minded agents who are winners, who want to be successful, is super important. You want to make sure you're around winning agents, not agents that just sit around and complain about things. You've got to have the right mindset when it comes to being a successful real estate agent. Number 3, basically remove the word you, never use you in your communication, only talk to the subject matter at hand. Clause 7 says we get to complete the inspections during this amount of time. That's what it says. That's what we agreed to. Don't say you only have until X to complete the inspections. Talk to clause 7 gives us the ability to complete the inspections during this time. Does that help? As you read your clauses, as you read your contracts, you'll become more familiar with what I'm talking about. Okay. Number 2, if you know that contract in and out, if you know all the dots, all the T's on that contract, it is absolutely going to give you a much better mindset when it comes to real estate sales. If you know the process, the better you as a real estate agent know the process and are able to communicate the process, the more assured your buyer or seller will be in the process. Your ability to confidently communicate what the contract says to them in layman's terms to the best of your ability. We always tell them to seek legal advice because we're not attorneys, will help the process along the way. If you're constantly prepping your customer for the next step, telling them what's coming up next, constantly checking in with them, giving them great communication into the steps of the contract and what they're moving through, you're going to have so much more success, and your mindset is going to be much stronger than if you don't know that contract, because the contract is a basic outline of the sale. If you as a salesman, you as a saleswoman who is a real estate agent, do not know the basic outline of the contract, don't know the basic outline of the process, you're going to look like you're sort of lost, and that will not be good for your business. You won't have the right mindset to help that buyer or seller get to closing. And if something big comes up and you don't know how to handle it because you don't know the contract, that's going to be a really bad situation. Okay. That's why you want to surround yourself with like-minded agents who understand the importance of knowing the contract and a strong broker team to help you through the process along the way. Okay. Does that make sense? Thumbs up. Thumbs up if knowing the contract, if you agree that knowing the contract is going to increase your mindset and make you a stronger real estate agent. And then the number one thing that you could do with your mindset to help you through every single transaction is never worry about the commission. The goal is to help the customer get through the process. That's the goal. If both parties, the buyer and the seller, are not happy at that closing table, you weren't doing your job as a real estate agent. Okay. It's got to be a win-win for both parties. If it's not a win-win for both parties, that closing may not even happen. It has to be a win-win for both parties. The seller needs to net what they want, and the buyer needs to get the house on their terms. And it has to be a win-win. And you as the real estate agent can never worry about the commissions. Guys, I know it's tough at first. I know getting your escrows built up takes time at first, 30 to 90 days to put deals in your pipeline to get escrows start flowing in. I understand that. If real estate is something that you need to start out part-time because you've got a family or you've got bills or you've got student loans that you got to pay for, that's okay, guys. That's okay. You can start out real estate part-time. You absolutely can. And you can build a successful business doing that part-time. You can build your business to the point that you literally refer out 60 to 70% of your deals because God is blessing you with so much business. As long as you put people first and people's needs first, within the outline of the contract, everyone has to move through the contract. It's a promise for a promise. Okay. You will be a successful real estate agent because people will know that you have integrity and you value their desires. They will know that. It will show in your work and you'll get more referral and repeat business. You absolutely will. So guys, if you found value on today's video, absolutely subscribe to the channel. It's everything about real estate. everything about sales tips, about technology for real estate, about how eXp Realty is an amazing brokerage. And if you're part of the 30% of agents that are wondering, "Hmm, what else is out there? Am I at the right brokerage?" Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I definitely want to go over with you how eXp Realty is obsessed with agent success. It's not just a real estate brokerage, guys. When you have three different ways to earn income, when you have the ability of equity ownership in the company, and you have the ability to earn revenue share from more agents that you introduce to the company, it's a company that is absolutely obsessed with agent success. And I'd love to show it to you. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Comment down below on some of the different mindsets that you think that agents should have too to be a successful agent. And I'll see you guys on the next video.